Hi! Some of you have been asking me how to work with parts. What is that about, and how when we can use this tool in a way that is helpful for ourselves and what is good for, right? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to work with parts. Coming next, you're going to see how to operate with these different parts. But before that, I would like to tell you why it is important work when we are trying to get to know who we are. Well, the thing is that we believe that we know ourselves by the way we see ourselves and by the way family members or even friends perceive us. But we may say, if I perceive myself in this way, and my mother, sees me in a different way, and my friends are also, they show me like a different perception that they have about me, who am I? Or you may find yourself sometimes in situations where you find very difficult to make a decision, or maybe you already know what you want and you know what steps to take to get to your goal, but you may end up doing exactly the opposite without knowing why. Or why we self-sabotage so many times. It's like we know what to do, what is the right thing to do at the moment, because we respect ourselves, we love ourselves, we appreciate who we are, and we end up doing exactly the opposite, putting ourselves in a situation that we don't even like the way we see ourselves in that position. Why we do that? So, working with parts or discovering part of me is a way to bring to life many things that we are not conscious about, that we are not aware, because we may have a clear view about certain part of ourselves, but many other parts, they're still in the background or maybe in the subconscious mind. So doing this work, that it works like layer after layer, so you go deeper. The more you do it, the deeper you get and more parts you discover, until you have like a clear view about this whole configuration of part of you that may even function without you even noticing. So, this is what, when we work with the subconscious mind, I used to say, the subconscious is like you are at home in your house and you have no idea that someone is living in the attic up there and someone you don't see. But when you wake up in the morning and you see that someone made coffee and left some breadcrumbs, on the counter, and you have no idea. So some of our parts are in our subconscious and they work like in the background. We don't see them clearly, but they're there. So to figure out like the puzzle of our life and the way we do things, this tool, part of me, is really good for that. So here's the video and you can watch now how to do this. And before that, please leave your comments. Let me know what you think about it. And if you need more support and more help, remember to subscribe to my channel. Send me an email to contact@soleicosta.com and wait for the last part. After the explanation about how to use the part, wait for the last message that I have for you. Thank you. Go ahead. Okay, so here I have some of my own parts that I identify operating inside me. And the first one that usually everyone identifies with is the judge or the inner critic. This is the one, is the voice, in our head that is always judging every action, even our thoughts, is making comments about it. And it's always like measuring things, is making comments about everything, And many times the judge has a role as a protector, or it's coming from maybe some experience that you had in, previously in your life, and is always present. It's like always trying to make sure that we are making the right decision, that we have a clear mind about a situation that we have to go through. Usually is the one that we identify more clearly, the judge. Then there I also here I identified the optimistic one, the one that is full of energy and positivity, is always like ready to, to start something new, and is very positive, right? Then there's the warrior, the one who likes to fight for what she wants, is always ready for the next battle. It's usually someone who's a little bit like up front and believe that he needs to fight for whatever she wants, the warrior. Then we have here the unconditional giver, or the unconditional mother, the unconditional parent. And we can be the unconditional with our friends, with family, with our partners, with everyone. It's always giving, it's the giver. And the giver is just that, it's just giving, 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 no matter what happens, is the giver. The role is to give. Maybe, if you start asking questions about this one, who are you, why are you here, what do you want? The giver is going to give you very interesting answers. Then we have here the dreamer. The dreamer, of course, I think we all have one. And the dreamer can be, below all these ones, or the dreamer, maybe it could be close to the judge. They may be in opposition. Then we have here the pessimistic one, the one that always believes that something wrong is going to happen, that something is not going to work the way we want it. And it always has a voice somewhere, in our mind. Then we have the lover. Oh, the lover. Maybe the lover is very close to the giver, right? Maybe here or here. And then sometimes we have the invisible one. This one, identified this one as part of me that came to life to cope with certain situations that I couldn't understand. So in a way, it became invisible as a way of self-protection. So the work here for you is to take time with each one of these. So you can take a few minutes just getting to know and feeling, the energy of each one of those parts. Let's say, for example, that you want to sit with the dreamer, right? So you can ask questions. Why are you here? What do you want? What are the dreams that you have at this moment? And you can have this conversation, like going back and forth with question and waiting for the answer. But usually the answer is not something that is coming from your mind. It has to be some kind of intuition. You have to be open. You have to try to be very open to whatever comes to you in a way that is easy, that is not forced, that you are not trying to imagine, but be very attentive about what each part of you is going to tell you. And you may start with a configuration like this one, and eventually, as you have these conversations and you're getting to know each one of them, you may find that sometimes they team together, right? For example, I would say that the lover and the unconditional giver They are very close together. Sometimes they also are together with the optimistic, right? And maybe the dreamer somewhere. And because these are circles and you can place them in any way you want, you may understand how they operate inside. For example, the judge, in my particular situation, I would say the judge is always on top. But it's very close to the dreamer. I would say I put the dreamer here, the unconditional giver, and the lover, and the optimistic. And then the judge, I would say the judge has, the company of the warrior, and maybe the pessimistic is right here, but the invisible one, because I think it started in my childhood, sometimes is here or is like in between those two. So you just play with this, you take your time and look for how they connect with each other, which ones are in opposition to each other, and you may find out a lot of things about you, how you make decisions, why you hesitate when you're about to make a decision about a situation, or you may feel like there's a confusion, in yourself that you don't know how to resolve. But having this a clear view about all the parts that operate, within you, you may discover that sometimes those oppositions, they take a lot of energy and they don't let you to move forward, right? For example, if I have the lover, let's say I'm in love with someone, so I am the lover right now. I put the lover at the center. And the lover, if the lover has a lot of fears, probably it's going to be very close to the pessimistic. Oh no, this is not going to work. I don't think this person really loves me. I'm afraid that it's not paying attention to me the way I like. And then if I go through that kind of situation, I may become the invisible. And then I will not show up. The object of my interest, the person that I'm interested in, may not giving me the sign that I expect. So I may feel safe becoming the invisible. And that way I would avoid being hurt, right? That is possible. And then maybe the judge will observe this situation and may have an opinion about it, like saying, you always hesitate, you should be, more brave, in this situation. And you may invite the dreamer. You may remember times when you were more free in considering situations like that, like, dating someone or being in a relationship with someone already, and missing a big part of that. And then you may invite the dreamer and the optimistic and the unconditional giver right here. See? So you can play with all the parts, and you may find even more parts. As you play with this, you may find, but there's another one that always is around, and you may find out that maybe another part is maybe the practical one, the one who is very into reality, and always trying to figure out what is real and what is not, and that one will be in the position of the dreamer. See? So this is the invitation to identify your parts, play with them, like on the table like this, and have conversation with each one of them, asking questions. How old are you? Why are you here? Who are you protecting to? Right? Sometimes they they play the role of protectors or guardians, you know. So, yeah, you know, part of me is a very interesting tool that you can use in any way you want. And yeah, so this is an example. So you just go and find about yours, all right? So now that you saw how to work with parts, this was just an example. You're going to find your own part. Those are the parts that I identify within myself, but there are so many others. So remember, you may discover so many things about you. And this is just the first, let's say, the surface of this work. As you use this tool, you may go deeper and deeper. And I want you to know that I am here to support you all the way. If you need guidance, if you have questions, if you don't know what to do, I can offer you coaching. It's a coaching package that I'm offering. You can find the information in the description of the video below. And we can work together with this, and you may find so many things, and your life will be so much easier once you have an idea, a clear view about why you're doing this or that. And the other thing that you need to know at this part, they can be rearranged in a way that work in cooperation more than in opposition, as they usually are. So send me an email to contact@soleicosta.com. And let me know what you think about. Leave me a comment. I want to know how this worked for you. You have any questions or anything, okay? I'm here to support you. I hope this was helpful. Share this with your friends and see you next time.